the school band will be leading us with the national anthem, the East African anthem, and the Kisii University anthem. As the band are setting themselves, ladies and gentlemen, all these programs are live on all social media platforms of Kisii University and the KRA TV. So you just go there, share the link, comment, and share with your friends so that you can get knowledge together. Lead us. Kindly, let's stand. Let's all be upstanding for the national anthem. Thank you. Thank you so much, band. As you remain standing, kindly, let's have our prayer from Elvis Serem. Elvis Serem, kindly.
Hands, Father Lord, that may you establish, may plan, Father Lord, but you are the one who establishes and make decision, Father Lord. But this day, Father Lord, we pray unto you, Lord, that guide us, Father Lord. Every of the program, Father Lord, that we have, we commit unto your able hands, O King of glory. The program of the day, or rather the MC of the day, Lord, I do commit unto your able hands, Father Lord. All the protocol, Father Lord, who are here, I pray that may, even as we sit down and wait, Father Lord, for any event that is going to be carried out today, Lord, may you give us patience, Father Lord, and may you help us, Father Lord, that in everything that we are going to learn, Father Lord, may it stick, Father Lord, and may it be of meaningful, Father Lord, into our lives, O King of glory. Lord, I pray that even those who are the visitors who are still coming, Father Lord, I pray that may you give them journey mercies, Father Lord, and may you hasten their steps, Father Lord, that they may join us, Father, as we continue, O King of glory, to make this day a success, O King of glory. Lord, I pray this morning that anything that I have not presented unto your able hands, Father Lord, may the Holy Spirit, Father Lord, intercede on behalf. And this is my prayer in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you. Begin makofi as you resume your seats. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we really apologize for starting late. It's because of some 1 or 2 things that we couldn't avoid. Now, if you're joining us now, just to know, we're coming live from Kisii University. That's from the amphitheater. Remember, this is the Kisii University Second National Tax Symposium. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our host here today, the host, who is also the patron of the Kisii University Tax Society. Let's prepare our hands. Let's prepare our hands. You can put your phones down for a minute. Let's prepare our hands, because without this man, this activity today would not have happened. So we need to get an opening remarks from him, and he will carry on with the program for the rest of the morning hour. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Edgar Marumbo. Pigeni makofi yakikuja. Ndiye makofi kuliko hapo. Thank you, MC. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Our guests, our VC represented here, all protocols observed. This is a wonderful morning. Sindio? This is an amazing morning. Unajua mkitingiza kichwa watu wa online hawajui, so when I say sindio, you say sindio. This is a wonderful morning. Sindio? Hey, hapo sawa. We are happy to have you guys here today. This is the second National Tax Symposium, and it's bigger than the first one. Makofi kwa hiyo. It's bigger than the first one. Because, and I think we should set a target that we make sure the next one is also bigger than this one. Because from the last National Tax Symposium that we had, we've, I think, doubled in terms of participation as of now. That's barely 2 years down the road. It means there's work going on, and that work is courtesy of you. So we appreciate seriously, and we say thank you to all of you for all this work that you're doing. So, from the bottom point of my heart, I just want to take this opportunity and appreciate, our management, represented here by the registrar. We also appreciate KRA for being with us through thick and thin, our Kisii office, especially having been there for us for this activity, PFMR, and you'll hear from them. They have been with us, they're here with us, and they're promising to be with us. Our dear students from Tax Society, I want to begin makofi tafadhali. You are just wonderful, you're amazing. I know this will be repeated a few times over. We were the best tax society last year, and the president awarded us, the VC took the award on behalf of the university. And that work does not get done minus the work that you to take this early opportunity to, one, appreciate all of you and welcome you to this tax symposium, and to just give you a little bit of insight as to what we are trying to do here. Because this is an idea that we want it to grow roots. And I know Kiara listening, we are calling it National Tax Symposium, but mainly we are here from just this region. The national part of this symposium is the fact that Kisii University is a national university, and we have students from all over the country. That means we have representatives here from all over the country. That's why it's still national. But we want it to have a national outlook in terms of how we are bringing in people, in terms of how we are having institutions here, multiplying the number of institutions from just 3. Because right now we have 3 in the room. We want that 3 to go 6, to go 8, to go 12, including other universities, including other schools. We have very brilliant schools out there that do a lot of good work in terms of taxing and tax education and tax awareness and matters like that. It's more or less what we do, and we want to expand that. That's what I'm saying. We have more than doubled the numbers from the last symposium, but we want to continue doubling the numbers by increasing our breadth, by increasing the number of people we engage, by increasing our partners, by ensuring the tax symposium that we are going to have, the third one that we are going to have, is going to be twice. It may not even be Kisii. We can take it somewhere else, so that we get an opportunity to host this in another region and let them experience what it means to have this discussion. Because more or less, when you interact with Kenyans, and I think this is one of the jobs as ambassadors, as tax ambassadors we need to have,
Seriously. More or less, when you interact with Kenyans on matters taxation, the first instance or the first impulse is someone wants to push away first. Then you have to try and demystify that factor. If you understand what taxation means, if you understand what paying taxes should mean, you should be very happy to pay taxes. We do watch movies here and series, right? And we do series that broadcast the future, right? A future where we don't have democracy. A future where we have forgotten about electing people. A future where we have a few rich people who are manning us because they have money. A few Fortune 100 companies. And that future is not good. Because global warming takes effect, money disappears, the power is among few people, and only those who are affluent in the society get to enjoy what happens. And 90% of who remains is just left down there to just wallow in pity and cruel life. Something like that happens simply because democracy failed. Democracy failed. And if democracy fails, everything else fails. So if democracy fails and we are ruled by a few corporate Congress people who have been able to take everything they're taking, then what happens to the rest of us? Remember, we are looking at a future, if we don't work diligently towards it, we are looking at a future where even oxygen will be a problem. We will have to buy oxygen 150 years from now, 200 years from now. If we continue cutting down the trees the way we are doing, even that will be a problem. Now you can imagine that time when you don't have your democratic right. And you know, the democratic right is only available to you if you are free and willing and happy to fund those who are leading that democracy. How do you fund democracy? Taxation. So it looks like a small topic, but for our children's children, it is our responsibility as young people right now to make sure that culture is built in. Because some of those futures that are being forecasted are not something to be happy about. You should not look at that and imagine, because you might not be there, yes. Chances are in 50, in 100 years, some of us will not be here. But your generation will continue. Do you want them to live in a world that is free? A world that they have rights? A world that they can do what they want? If so, then we need to take the taxation conversation seriously. We need to understand how we can be able to contribute more from what we have. We expand our tax base, we support our government, and we support democracy. And in that case, as we do so, when we are preparing for that future that is coming, we will have a say in our future. A future where there is no elections, and you can't democratically put someone down, impeach someone because they're not doing what you say they say they would, is a very scary future. So taxation, when you look at it with a bigger vision, is not something to run away from. It is something to be embraced. But that conversation needs to start. That conversation needs to begin. That culture needs to be inbuilt in all of us. We need to understand that when I'm being paid 100,000 shillings and the government is asking for 30% so that it is able to fund my freedom, because that's how I look at it. They are taking that 30% to fund my freedom. I am delegating that right to them. If I retain all their 100 and I take away the government, then someone else who has way more money than me will take over. Then they will not have anything. I won't have better healthcare. I won't have good education systems. I won't have any of those things. So these conversations that we are beginning, these, as we continue, are important for our future. You might not know what you're doing right now, but a lot of my life looking at the future. I normally make decisions of things I'm doing today with from now in mind, a lot of time. And when I see where yes time, then right now, and know what exactly I need to do to be able to get there. So taxation, as I'm saying, taxation matters, education about taxes. We need to demystify that only among those who are here. Here we have university students. All of you have passed somewhere. You've gone through the system, you've been educated. I can guarantee you that every single day you have been able to feel or test what your taxes did. I watch a lot of movies. There was another movie I was watching earlier. In the US, we have people who denounce democracy and they denounce the government and they want to, go live out in the forest. You know those kinds of tribes. They want to go live out in the forest alone. Now, at some point, that person was sick and they cannot use the forest to give give them anything. They have refused paying taxes. They have refused contributing to society. They have refused internalizing or integrating with society. But this person expects certain rights from the government, that when they are getting sick, that they get to hospital, they get medication. When they are being carried on the road, this road was built by taxpayer money. There is also using it. When they are going into the hospital and drugs are being given out, etc., they expect that drug. You can't have your cake and eat it too. The reality is, this conversation is not present in many of Kenyans. The ability to pay taxes is not present. The willingness to pay taxes is not present in many Kenyans. But if they knew the future we are trying to build, and if they knew the alternative, because sometimes you make decisions like this because of the alternative. When you look at what is going to happen and what is going to happen, I guarantee you, I would want to pay taxes every day. I would want to be educated in matters taxation, so that I know what I give out, what I remain, and what is no matter what you earn. Everybody wants to earn something a little bit extra. So we are here to find out, can we leverage these spaces? The president was is it called Taptengele? We've seen it trending of late, sindio? Unafinya laptop, madola inatoka. The reality is that business is here. Some of you guys have been doing Ajira digital trainings in the university. Ajira digital trainings is simply assisting you to earn money online. Now, with the reality of digital currency, with the reality of earning money digitally, comes the reality of taxation in a digital context. How can we embrace these two? Ladies and gentlemen, that is why we are here today. We are here to demystify this conversation. We are here to understand this conversation. We are here to buy into this conversation, so that after we finish all that, we are then empowered to take that conversation to someone who is not in this room, to someone who is not following us online. We take that taxation conversation to them to make them understand. Because 100 years from today, my grandchildren or great-grandchildren will be living in a world that I create today. President Obama, former president, said, we do not inherit this world from our grandparents and parents. We borrow it from our children. That means we have to take it back to them. So whatever we are building right now, we are building it for the future. So can we make decisions? Can we understand? If we can't make the decisions, can we understand what we are supposed to do? Can we understand what is in our best interest? Imagine what you would want done if you were there present 200 years from today. That decision you would have wanted the you to do it now, deliberately. Take an action, learn, understand, expand your knowledge, pass that knowledge to the next person. We have over 200 households represented here today. That conversation can be taken to them. You are family members. That is the beginning of this conversation. You are different communities. We have over 200 communities represented here today, all from around the country, because all of you come from around the country. That discussion is going to be opened up. That discussion is going to assist you. When it assists you, cascade it down. It's what we are asking for. It's the little we are trying to push. That knowledge to not remain with a few, because we understand, and I understand when I was buying into this conversation, I understood that this is not for me alone. This is for a very long line of progeny, and you will understand that too. And the more people who understand that, the more people who will be focused, one, to pay taxes, to file their returns, and number three, finally, to ask the government to be held accountable with the taxes we give it. Because you can't hold someone accountable if you've not empowered them in the first place. So let's empower our leaders. Let's elect the right leaders. Once we elect the right leaders, let us pay our taxes faithfully as citizens. Once we do that, let's hold them accountable. That if they say they're going to build roads, we see those roads being built. If they say they're going to build hospitals, we see those hospitals being built. So it's a chain, and that chain starts with us. Just having a conversation here and today. Karibuni sana, ladies and gentlemen, to the second National Tax Symposium, Kisii University. A round of applause. This is the opening ceremony, and we have guests who are here with us. We will do it quickly because I know we had a late starter because of a few logistical issues, but we know we will catch up during the day. So ladies and gentlemen, we have several institutions, and before we invite their representatives to come and be with us and share one or two, may I just recognize them? In here we have the KRA Kisii office, makofi kwao tafadhali. We also have the regional office Western of Kisii, KRA represented here, makofi tafadhali. We have PFMR, a very major partner in this game, represented here, makofi kwao. And finally, we have Kisii University, makofi kwao. So in the order that I've said, I would just like to start by requesting that Manager Kisii office to come and share a word, and then thereafter bring in the representative of the regional coordinator for Western. Then we go to PFMR, and then the VC's representative to also share his message to us. He is currently engaged in a Senate meeting, but once it's done, we will see if we can be able to bring him to say hi to you and appreciate the work that you do. So we start with Madam May. Karibu sana, tafadhali. Makofi kwake akiendelea kukuja. Tumkaribishe akaweze kusema nasi, atueleze moja mbili as we begin the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your patience, for all the time that we've had. We came in here bright and early, and we are going to be here up to late, I know. So thank you for the patience, and just appreciate the commitment that we have. Karibu Madam.
Thank you very much. My name is May Goretti from Kisii office. How many of you know me? Only the officials. I'm part of Kisii University. Somehow I'm like a mother to them. And apparently today our manager is not present, but he has a representative to tell you 1, 2, 3 things. And also, we also want to inform you there's these t-shirts you're supposed to be getting today and your certificates. They've been procured, and I'll be bringing them myself when they're ready. I think next week, about Tuesday, they'll be ready. So that one, sorry for the delay, it will be worked on. But karibu sana, Mr. Ndire.
Good morning. I know, let me tell the apologies of the TSO manager, Mr. Kennedy Onyango. I know you have seen in the poster that he was supposed to be here, but because of 1 or 2 things, he cannot be able to make it. But I have his words with me. First of all, we want to thank our dear partners for today, the public finance management reforms. And we look forward for a fruitful engagement today. And we want to thank also the fraternity of the Kisii University for allowing this forum to take place here. Let me just mention 1 or 2 things. First of all, we want to say as a Kisii TSO, we will always work hard towards betterment of the society and to expand it. And the way our leader said, that we look forward that in the 3rd National Symposium, this all will not be enough for us, that we can be able to look for many partners as much as possible and loop in even other universities, so that when we are having such kind of conversation, we move as a society and as a nation. The theme of the day is quite interesting, and I'll urge all of us to take keen interest in every single detail that will be discussed here. Because that theme of digital economy is where the country is headed to. Every single person within the nation will all go toward that direction. For those guys who might be able to know the pillars of the digital economy, there are 5 major pillars that the government is implementing. And if you've been keen, there's one thing we call the digital governance, that all the government services must be offered through what? Through e-citizen. That is one of the blueprint pillars of the government. And so as we have this conversation, it will be very important that all of us take a keen interest in what will be discussed here. Number two, in those pillars of the blueprint as a government, is that every business is going towards digital, a kind of business. That each and every person that is doing business today, for you to succeed, that economy must run through a certain digital platform. So those guys who want to do any kind of business, whether, let's say, kwa lugha ya mtaa, hardware, that hardware can go far through a digital kind of a system. So even as we look towards this discussion and the panelists to discuss it, I pray that we have a keen interest in that. And even as the blueprint, the third blueprint in the government structure, you'll come to realize that most of our skills and values that we used to have, or the way we used to express them in the time past, were not much digital. But for you to have your skills and values known, you'll bear with me that this topic is so important that you must drive it through a digital platform. And any kind of entrepreneur who want to do any kind of business, whether in Kenya or in any other part of the world, you'll come to realize that the economy must run through a digital platform. And so, as a station, we want to wish all of us a nice day and a nice discussion, and we look forward for a fruitful discussion together with all the panelists that will be able to guide us in this session. Otherwise, karibuni sana, and let's build together and let's discuss together this topic. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. May we have PFMR to join us and say hello. I know they will have a session later to share more, but we just want to recognize them. And then they will be closely followed by the representative of the Chief Manager, Tax Education, Madam Corey. You will also say a word before we invite the representative of the VC to share with us and declare this function open, because if he doesn't declare it open, we might all be told to pack and go.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here this morning. My name is Oliver Mwenda. I work at the National Treasury, a PFM Reform Secretariat. I don't have t-shirts today, so this is, but I will come with my t-shirts, that I promise. I will make it up to you. So, please allow me not to say so much, but to say we are grateful as the National Treasury to be partnering with Kisii University, to be also be partnering with the KRA to come and speak to the students of the tax issues and also other issues that will come. So I look forward to this conversation, and thank you very much and have a lovely morning. So let me just leave it there. I know I will speak much when our time comes. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. To bring Madam Jacinta's regards, please karibia, Madam Corey. I know you will have some time to share later, but in the opening ceremony, you say a word as we also begin. Situmpigia makofi akikuja ndio asichange mind arudi. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. They've been with us, by the way, since Wednesday. We did some work yesterday in Kisii, and now here we are finishing today. So it's been a whole lot. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Edgar. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm here to pass regards to Madam Jacinta Mulo. She's so excited. This started as a dream some years ago, 2016, and it has turned out to be something huge. Never in a million years did we think that Kisii University would be greeting the president and being considered for an award, but it did happen. A round of applause to Kisii University. So of course we are excited, happy to be here. We are looking forward to moving this conversation to other spaces. We are looking forward to moving it into a real national, not just national because it's Kisii University, but national in terms of bringing everyone on board. So with that, thank you so much, and I look forward to an engaging session today. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I know our next speaker has stepped outside, but as he comes back in, I will give us a little bit of guidance as how we will be continuing with our sessions today. A little bit of housekeeping as we plan on what to do. So we will achieve our theme today in different ways. One, through plenary discussions. We will have facilitators here to discuss with you. I know all of us are relatively vast in terms of matters taxation because we've been engaging in that topic for quite a bit of now, but no one is a monopoly of knowledge. So we will be hearing from a few presenters here and there on different topics, and from what they will be sharing with us, we will be able to engage them on the different topics they have shared and see if we can elucidate some thinking. We want to evoke radical thinking when it comes to taxation. We want to go at this in a way that we will achieve results. Because, like I said, what is at stake is not just a little bit of money going. It's your democracy that is at stake. It's a lot of your rights, the seriousness it deserves. Number two, we will have panel discussions, and we will have several people here discussing certain matters. And as they discuss those matters, we will follow those conversations, and sometimes we will get a chance to chip into that conversation and share with us. And lastly, we will have key speakers on certain topics to also deliver those topics, and we see what we can benefit. At the end of it all, we will crown it all with a networking session in which it will be us, together with the other three institutions that are here, discussing and seeing how well can we better this. This is a child that we are growing. Corey has just shared where this dream started coming from as we've walked that path pole pole. It's a child that is growing, and we want that child to mature into something we are proud of. So how can we ensure that maturity? How can we ensure that ugonjwa has empathy? Na ugonjwa ikimpata, we treat that sickness inatoka, they become healthy, they get the right ingredients, they get the right nutrients, until this baby that we're having as a national symposium becomes something we all look forward to, and becomes something that when we look at the journey we've come from, it is something we can be proud of. You can see where your hand has been. So that, ladies and gentlemen, will be our day today. Let's delve down into those discussions. But before that, let us get the permission of the Vice Chancellor to continue. And at this time, may I request the acting VC to please come and share the remarks of the VC, and please declare this session open so that we can continue before we close. Karibu sana Professor, tumpigie makofi akikuja. He is our Registrar, Administration, Human Resource and Central Services. He is the Secretary to the University Management Board. So we are happy that they're here with us, and we know he will carry the message of this function back to the VC. Karibu sana Professor. Please talk to your students.
Is it morning or afternoon? It's morning. My name is Charles Okiobra. You have been told what I do in the university, and I'm happy that I will represent the Vice Chancellor, who is in a Senate meeting as of now. Bear in mind, the Senate in a university is a body which runs the entire university, and he is the chairman of that body. Before I read his speech, I have my own observation, which I should make. And number one is that the Kisii University Tax Society is a wonderful body here. And I would encourage me of any country in the world. And there's no country in this world which does not collect tax from her citizens all the time. They say there's one country which does not ask for tax, and that is Brunei. Have you ever heard of a country called Brunei? They say that is a country which does not collect tax. Kisii KRA team have always been with our Kisii University Tax Society. And they have done a lot for us, especially our staff members when it comes to filling tax forms. We never get any problem in that because Kisii branch KRA is always ready to assist us. And we thank you for that, Kisii KRA staff. Therefore, this has made our students to be wonderful ambassadors of KRA. Bear in mind, this meeting, the attendants who are the members of Kisii University Tax Society and the others who are there are sending a message outside, a message to the citizens of this country, a message to those who resist paying tax. In fact, if you want to change the venue to end up the place whereby you continue to be our ambassadors, is ready